Because for some people they will say the system a bit sophisticated and they not sabi use them. So there is a tendency as well for the one that we sabi use them for manipulate the figures. You get systems in place for check that.
Well, yeah, well, let's go back to where we were. USA will be there first before we even talk about the electronic cash register. That'll be handwritten. That is when somebody can buy. I mean, I go issue the receipt. I go change the figures in handwriting. I mean, a lot of manipulations go happen. And the person, the businessman, will also collect the money. He also get the tendency not for account for the tax to the government at the end of the day, where it's supposed for actually pay. So all of these we consider and say, okay, let's bring a system wherein we reduce that manipulation and ensure say people that accounts for the right taxes that we're supposed for account for them. Now, in terms of the manipulation where you ask is, I know they say it's not possible because you still get one or two people who believe say they can do it, they can take advantage or they can test the system for know in potency on for know how it capable for actually for many able accounts for many able defraud. So then set of people then the electronic system is linked to the NRA. So whatever you they do with the machines, whatever inputs or whatever sales you make with the machines, with the day now with office, with the day all over the country, with the day all over the world, will be able to access this information and able to know whether somebody don't attempt or somebody don't defraud in any case.
Given how many businesses in the country, when they install them now, all of them business places there.
Well, we get thousands of businesses around the country, and over 15,000 businesses in Sierra Leone, and not to every business gets the responsibility for charge GST. Now, only with the installer to only people will registered with the NRA for charge GST, and once we give them and get a responsibility for charge the tax and account for to the NRA. So not to every business across the country, but as a matter of fact, now 2,500 businesses them with a target in this phase. That notwithstanding, we get for expand for once we get the right information, the right data, we they able to expand to any business in no matter outside across the country. We they go to you as long as you meet the criteria for be registered for charge the tax. We they go to you and register you and give you the machine.
For businesses, normally businesses across the world, they no one for pay tax even. So why would they come forward and say, let me register out NRA and start for pay me GST through the ECR?
You know, the GST system itself now it gets in own benefits where you they register for charge the tax. A host of them benefits, I will just name it one or two. You know, that because it's not just an aside. I don't want to talk deep into the GST itself because we don't administer them as a country for over 10 years. I really want to concentrate a little bit on the machines. But in the meantime, let's just talk the benefits of the GST system. Now, with the GST system, you get the businessman will register for charge the tax. With me and you, they go buy. We they give this money. And the businessman, they keep this money for 1 month. And people or even businesses out there go realize say anybody we gonna bank for go take 1 month money, not interest, then they'll get for charge you. So you they keep this money here, you turn them over from the 1st to the 30th or the 31st of the end of the month, and turn that money there, and at the end of the month you take you can't pay. Some small profits go must not accrue on that money there. Even if you just go put up a fixed deposit, it must give you some things, some small benefits, and at the end of the day you go able for use that benefit and pay the government in own. The other benefit now that certain transactions and they across Sierra Leone, you're not able for undertake them if you not register for GST. You know, you they see some suppliers them, so some contractors them before they give benefits to then give contract to certain businesses, and they tell you say A, you supposed to get a tax clearance certificate, B, you supposed to register for GST, because once you register for it, they show you the ability, your capacity. Because not like I say, not to every business. We'll not go see any business on the street and just say can't charge the tax. So now only businesses with some level of responsibility. So that confidence, the NRA they also give them business there for me they're able for for me to able walk around with the without proudness. I mean, it's so proud for sure. Say then they in a certain cadre of business level where the NRA recognize them, and as a result they can able to deliver. So that they send us some confidence. Now we just end and there in terms of the benefit of the GST. But at another time when I will get an opportunity, we can talk extensively about the benefits of the GST.
You talk say at this phase when I look at 2,500 businesses. Yes. Is that across the country?
Across the country. I mean, the NRA aware say Freetown not to Sierra Leone, and we get presence right across Sierra Leone. That the borderlines, then we get presence in major towns. So then businesses that we did at the inside and they would they go there and assess them, and once you get the rest you meet the threshold for be registered for charge the tax, yes, will they register you.
Speaking about that threshold, they waiting at some of the criteria then.
The criteria for register for GST, you must do business in a turnover of 350 million. Anybody that are the basic that one day. But if you did in a certain sectors, that threshold they not necessarily need for hold for you. Like people within in the restaurant sector, people within in the tourism sector, then people then your threshold they as low as even 50 million for indicate say we want that particular sector they be represented more fully for charge the tax because of the nature of their operations. You get also the entertainment sector. The entertainment sector also not get a threshold. It depends on your activity where you undertake. You come to the NRA and you will sit down with we will determine whether you get the responsibility for actually charge the tax and account for them. So all of them one and some basic criteria. But of course you must get a fixed abode. People where they take business and put on at the head, they go up and down. We not go give them a responsibility for they collect the GST for we. Now only people will get a fixed abode, people will get presence, people will get stability, people will get the ability for able to charge the tax and account for to the government. These are the people who they target for charge the tax.
And also for a very long time the NRA don't they talk about getting the informal sector to pay taxes. Does this ECR machine guarantee now that? I don't say they guarantee for expand tax base, but it also they bring more of the informal sector people on board.
Well, the GST not they target that one in need, but we get another reform system where the NRA don't put in place when at the SME regime, and people go realize say on the streets of Freetown, as at the talk so we get a host of we colleagues them, then they go up and down, they try for register people within the SME sector, and that sector they will get a separate package for them, and that package we will find time for also talk about them, but we get a separate package where they target just the SMEs, small businesses, small micro businesses, people the way they in that kind we're not there in too much of a formal sector. So we get people that out there when I attend to them where they come in our shops, where they interact with now, when I give them the information where they want, and we not go tax like how we will tax other businesses, because everybody gets in package, everybody gets in your structure where we they implement effectively.
And I know say with once you implement the ECR now, then the issue of leakages as well, you be able to speak about manipulation, it will be less now. Is there any projected revenue way una they know say by the time we roll out this is how much you will be making?
Well, I not get the figures now. Certainly there are projections where they indicate waiting at the intention or waiting at the desire of NRA in terms of what we want to achieve on the figures. I not get the figures and NIR, but obviously nobody not go bring a tax reform without an intention to raise more revenue. But like I say, even with the progress we don't make so far, we they see the impact, we they see the effect where they on revenue, and even going back to the time where GST be introduced. GST now is a tax system where they indicate say whenever there are growth in certain sectors, they reflect on the revenue where they come out from that sector. If growth there in the mining sector, you see them from the GST where they come in. Growth there in the tourism sector, you see them from the revenue where they flow in from that sector. So the GST they actually inform government also for know which sector they actually do well across the country.
So for businesses then where they out there, they are yet undecided because they know say the less tax they pay, the more profits they make. what will you say to them? What will be the incentive for making them join the tax paying regime?
Well, like make a restriction to the ECR. I mean, the ECR not just an invoicing device. Before now, you be the issue receipt when you operate am manually. You dey issue the manual receipt. Before now, I mean, but the mechanism of operating the tax itself has not changed. You dey still collect this money, you get 1 month for keep am. We talk about the interest element where if you go na bank where you go get for pay to the bank, if you decide for take money from the bank for 1 month. So all of them one and they put together, a lot of incentives there. A lot of, but one major one to the businesses have for keep the money for 1 month. There is no way when it comes to the issuance of receipts system. Then you know also need for talk to the NRA if it comes to registration of your business. All this while you do it online through the ITAS platform, and you were able to get all your services them. So the business out there, people the way will not reach to you it, will encourage you for Canada the NRA and can take this thing, this taxpayer identification number through the ITAS platform. And they also reach a time where you know they're able for clear goods without this new thing. So we, for people who are importers, for people where they bring goods from other countries, we they encourage you now forget this new thing, register with the ITAS platform and bring the and get this number, because very soon we will get for stop the use of that old thing.
And for people with all of them system there, whether not the ITAS or the ECR and other system there as well within the pipeline, the more efficient una make tax paying become, the more the perception say na actually na taxes don't increase. So I know sometimes this is a perception you have to deal with. How do you explain to people that no, not so taxes don't increase, but now the system they don't become much more efficient in collecting more?
Now, when for make you increase taxes, you get various means the way they go about for them. You either increase the rate or probably you make the system more efficient. Now, the rates are not changed, but as a matter of fact, the rates are not go down in recent years. The tax rates are not go down tremendously, like corporation tax don't move from 30% to 25%, and even the PAYE they don't increase some other levels them. Before now we not be get 25%, now we don't get 25%, and even the amount, so not to the rate will they change. And what will they do now for make the system more efficient, for ensure say somebody will be the Comor Calbatown, he pay transport for can submit GST returns, he no need for doing any longer, he don't save that transport. Somebody will get for Comor Clienttown, a bank then a Clienttown for make it pay in tax day. He get for Canada the NRA, we issue we give to the NRA, and all them possibilities. Then they say sometimes that movement of moving from your point of from the south side, whether they Connaught, McKinney, for can pay the tax. A lot of things can go wrong. You can lose the money, and as a matter of fact, to all things they do one for really minimize them. Go to the bank, you pay, you get your receipt automatically. You don't need for wait again. Now this receipt system, now one of the problems that we say let's introduce ITAS for ensure say we eliminate reconciliation between we and the business and ensure say the taxes are accounted for correctly.
So for businesses then where they are out there, they are yet undecided because they know say the less tax they pay, the more profits they make. What will you say to them? What think will be the incentive for making them join the tax paying regime?
Well, like make a restriction to the ECR. I mean, the ECR not just an invoicing device. Before now, you be the issue receipt when you operate manually. You issue the manual receipt. Before now, I mean, but the mechanism of operating the tax itself has not changed. You still collect this money, you get 1 month for keep am. We talk about the interest element where if you go to a bank where you go get for pay to the bank, if you decide for take money from the bank for 1 month. So all of them one and they put together, a lot of incentives there. A lot of, but one major one to the businesses have for keep the money for 1 month. There is no way you go to a bank say una give me 10 million for example for 1 month. Then the bank says okay, yeah, the way the month done you count the 10 million. The bank will say what's in there happen. Obviously some penalty or interest go get for accrued. So keeping that money alone itself a huge benefit to the businesses for a period of 1 month, where the law requires.
All right. Thank you very much for talking to us this morning, James Bobotengbe, Wayne, Assistant Commissioner, and also the project lead for the Electronic Cash Register. This morning, we've been talking about the Electronic Cash Register with the rollout across the country. This is the Epic Morning Show.